Hello and welcome to Lunchtime Politics on Channels Television. I'm Millicent Walker. On the news this hour, the People's Democratic Party does not appear to be backing down on its plans to seek legal redress in the aftermath of the presidential election as the party moves to challenge the results in a protest. And the All Progressives Congress is strategizing for victory in Akwa Ibom State ahead of the governorship election as the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, holds consultative meetings and town halls. Also, the National Orientation Agency, NOA, is meeting stakeholders on curbing the menace of vote buying ahead of Saturday's governorship election. Welcome everyone to the program. And it's a brand new day and the People's Democratic Party appears unyielding in its efforts at seeking redress in court over the outcome of the 2019 presidential election. Today, party supporters and leaders are gathering for a crucial meeting at the party's national headquarters at the Wadata House in Abuja. It appears some party members and chieftains may be staging a protest march on the nation's capital to approach the umpire, INEC, and this is to ensure justice is done to them. Hopefully we'll be joining our correspondent who is there on ground to get the latest. In the meantime, on Monday, the PDP National Caucus met, and at the end of that meeting, the party is insisting it will challenge the results of the 23rd of February election, the election results that is, in court, and will petition the United Nations on what it describes as the militarization of the polls. The decision was reached at an extended caucus meeting of the party presided over by the party chairman.
The People's Democratic Party has vowed to reclaim what it has called its stolen mandate. The party chairman minced no words in stating this at every opportunity, and this was no different at this expanded caucus meeting. In addition, the party is demanding the release of the son-in-law and lawyer of its presidential candidate, insisting that all who are celebrating the victory of the All Progressives Congress at the February 23rd polls are celebrating criminality.
Those who are Democrats on the other side are celebrating criminality. The son-in-law to our presidential candidate was arrested for no justification. He's been detained and not released. His personal lawyer has been detained, no justification. He hasn't been released. And the leaders of our country are keeping quiet. The peace committee is keeping quiet.
Many of the party chieftains expected at this meeting are preparing for the governorship elections billed for the weekend. The party urges Nigerians to come out en masse and resist what he describes as intimidation by the military.
We ask our supporters to remain calm and ask INEC, is it the same thing that happened on the 23rd that will happen on the 9th? The decision to go to court, that has been finalized and agreed, and the process is on.
The People's Democratic Party says it has the full cooperation of all its members as it seeks litigation. That includes members who won at the National Assembly on February the 23rd and are insisting that they will resist any harassment or intimidation by the APC to stop the party from going to court. Kayla Megwa, Channels Television News.
But elsewhere, as the People's Democratic Party is gathering, so also is the All Progressives Congress, and the agenda may be different, but the issues may not, however. The All Progressives Congress Presidential Campaign Council is also speaking to journalists in Abuja, and we have our correspondent who will be bringing us the latest on that story in a moment. But ahead of Saturday's election, and that's March the 9th, the State House of Assembly election as well, the Bayelsa State Governor, Seriake Dixon, well, he has asked President Muhammadu Buhari to call the Nigerian military to order so as to avoid a repeat of an alleged military invasion that was witnessed during the February 23rd election. Governor Dixon spoke when he handed the People's Democratic Party's flag to the 24 candidates vying for seats at the State House of Assembly in Yenagoa.
All the presidents of the Federal Republic, one of the greatest beneficiaries of our nation's democracy, to realize this and call his men to order and order the security forces of our country, especially the military, of which is the commander-in-chief, to do what is right. To undermine our democracy so brazenly, using the military to kill and to maim our own people, to terrorize our people, such that in Bayelsa, the sight of an average soldier is becoming nauseating. Soldiers in Bayelsa are now seen, and maybe across the country, where this has happened, will be seen as soldiers of occupation.
Well, let's go over to Abuja studio, Abuja, where we have our correspondent Linda Akiwe. She's at the press conference we hear is taking place, organized by the Presidential Campaign Council in Abuja. Linda? Linda, if you can hear us, tell us about that meeting taking place.
Okay, so we are here at the Presidential Campaign Office for the President Buhari campaign organizations, where the Director General of the campaign is about to brief the press. So we're here with him. This is the first time the Director General of the campaign is going to be briefing the press in the aftermath of the presidential and the National Assembly elections. So I'm here with the Director General of the President Buhari campaign office. Sir, you're welcome to the Lunchtime Politics. So basically, we want to know, what is this briefing about? What are you about to tell the press?
Having won, most of us who are in the campaign are working in different aspects of government, and we need to go back. So what we first was have a final meeting, assess what happened, prepare for, if PDP says they are going to court, prepare to make sure that all the documents that are required by the lawyers are put in place, and then thank Nigerians for their massive support. Like somebody said that PDP won in social media and the press. They were there in the press. The propaganda was so much that a lot of people panicked. Now, the real Nigerians who were not in the social media, the people that are in the different homes, in the rural areas, who came out to express massive support for APC. We need to thank them. I need to thank all Nigerians and reassure them the way the president has reassured them that they will run an all-inclusive government.
Now, what do you make about calls? There have been calls, the Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has said he's going to go to court to challenge the election results. And we've also seen calls in several quarters asking him not to go to court. What is the stand of the presidential campaign on this issue?
That would be difficult to respond to. What would be difficult to respond to that if you listen to the president in Owerri and Ogun State, he said everybody should be allowed to express their legal rights. So I don't know whether you want to go with the president in that argument that everybody has a right to express himself before the court, or you want to go, look, it's unnecessary. At this point, somebody has emerged, and the international community, Nigerians have expressed the fact that the election was, to a great extent, free and fair. And therefore, what are you going to challenge about in court for how many months or how many years and all that? We'll prefer if the presidential candidate of PDP can have a meeting with the president and resolve whatever differences that they have.
Well, he says he doesn't think the election was free and fair.
That's him against millions of Nigerians.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ruti Amechi. Thank you all that's all from Abuja. Back to you in Lagos.
Thank you, Linda. With the Director General of the Presidential Campaign Council of the All Progressives Congress, of course, we'll fill you in on that meeting subsequently. As the agitations from the PDP grow, well, some Nigerians are also asking for calm. One of such is a group of politicians who say they represent a forum of presidential candidates. They're calling on the People's Democratic Party candidate, Atiku Abubakar, to shelve his plans to challenge the victory of President Muhammadu Buhari in court. The group in a media briefing anchored its appeal on the fact that both men are brothers and should be able to address issues concerning them at the court.
We urge the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, to disregard the advice of those asking him to challenge the outcome of the election in court. To borrow the popular adage in Africa, two litigants cannot resolve their differences in court and return to the same house as brothers. President Buhari and Alhaji Atiku Abubakar are brothers. We strongly urge Alhaji Abubakar to drop the legal option in expressing his grievance. This is consistent with the counsel of many well-meaning Nigerians, including General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, former president, and Chief Olisa Agbakoba. We also believe that the former vice president has made a mark among Nigerians of means who have forcibly impacted their communities. We think he has a lot more to contribute to developing humanity and promoting peace and progress in our nation, even without holding any political office. At his age, he should now avoid any action and utterances capable of fanning the embers of discord, disagreement, and violent conduct. Nigeria is greater than any personal or class interest.
Well, as political parties across the country prepare for the governorship and National Assembly elections, the All Progressives Congress, APC, is not batting an eyelid as it continues to mobilize for the party. The Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, who visited the Petroleum Training Institute at Florida in Delta State, told stakeholders at a town hall meeting that the much-expected change is coming to the oil-rich state. Before leaving for Akwa Ibom on a similar mission, he also promised that the government will tackle the security challenge in the state.
They are very short of time. Saturday is a historic day, or will be a historic day. We cannot afford, on account of what took place last Saturday, to jeopardize the great victory that awaits us on Saturday, March the 9th. There is no reason whatsoever why this state should not join all other states, and especially the federal government, at the center. No reason. It will depend on you. It will depend on you, especially the leaders, and of course every one of us, all of our party members. It will depend on us to go out there with commitment and dedication to ensure that not only do we vote, we stay there and ensure that our votes count. It is the business of the federal government to provide security, and we will live up to all expectations of that.